Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Josh Shaw Football Show. You're watching SteveMajorSports.com/live, and Coach Shaw, welcome.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Before we get started, I want to announce some of the sponsors for today's show. It's Kenton Tire and Wheel, Green Heating and Cooling Incorporated, Northside Hospital Orthopedic Institute, Georgia Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine Center, E.F. Thomas and Sons, and Schottenkirk Ford out of Jasper. Well, Coach, folks, we're about 14 minutes late for getting on, but Coach Shaw, he sent me a text. You want to tell the folks about what's going on?
Well, we get the email that school's canceled for tomorrow due to the impending storm, and that came about 2:25. So it was chaos because we still have freshman practice after school, and then as of now, we'll still have our JV and freshman games hopefully tomorrow evening after the storm rolls out. So, but our county made that decision based on safety of our students for tomorrow morning. I think it's supposed to be extremely bad tonight and tomorrow morning. So. But anyways, I went from having not any emails or texts in my inbox to all of a sudden it blows up. So, and kids just assume if we're out of school, there's no sports.
Right. Well, Coach, Friday, you guys went over to Roswell, and really neither team disappointed. It was very clear that there was some really good talent on both sides of both teams. On both sides of the ball, a lot of athletic ability. And I know Matt Stewart, I guess, had some good things to say about you guys. Also, I want to go back to a tweet that I saw earlier this week about Rome saying that A.J. Swan was one of the best quarterbacks they played all year.
Yeah, that actually, too, came from, oh, gosh, I went brain dead right now. Like I said, Steve, my mind is all over the place. But their head coach actually told me that, John Ford. Gosh, that's not John Ford. John Reed. I'm sorry. John Reed actually told me that at a Junior Warrior Rome game here a few weeks ago as well. So yeah, it's awesome that they think that highly of AJ.
So be able to. You got some players of the week that you might want to announce.
Yeah, for sure. Our offensive player of the week was AJ Swan. Played a great game, 24-36 for 321 yards, 3 touchdowns, even had a couple of drops in there. Probably would have been even more at halftime. I think he was 18 of 20 at halftime. So just had a tremendous game. Really, every time we fell down by a score, AJ led our offense down again to tie it up. So played a tremendous game, probably the best game he's played all around. Almost let us down in the 2-minute drill, got down to the 17-yard line before we took a couple of sacks with about 25 seconds left. So just a tremendous job by him last week. Defensive player of the week was our corner, Riley Lyons. Had 4 tackles and an interception in the end zone. I'm still a little confused as to why he wasn't allowed to bring that. And I've been asked at a bundle since the game was over about what the rule is on intercepting a pass in high school in the end zone. But I don't think there's anything that keeps you from running out. But Riley picks that one off in the end zone, and then the official blows it dead, and he's got about 50 yards of green turf in front of him and wasn't allowed to return it out. But anyways, just a tremendous play by him. He played a great game. Even with some of our blitzes and man coverage, he was outstanding. So great game by him.
So you're thinking that the officials on the call, like on a kickoff, when the ball goes into the end zone, it automatically comes out to the 20. Could that have been what they're thinking? Did you have a discussion with them?
I did not get any kind of explanation. So I thought maybe that was the case after the game, that in high school when you enter, but then I looked at the NFHS rule book, and that was not the case. You're allowed to take it out of the end zone. So, but definitely, I mean, it was a great game changer for us to get the turnover, but it would have been fabulous for us to have an opportunity for Riley to return it out of the end zone. So, but, and unfortunately, I don't get, once the game's done, I don't get any kind of explanation for that. So, but, anyways, special teams players of the week. We had players of the week. Joel Stahl, our kicker, did a tremendous job. Made all of his extra points. Had 4 out of 5 touchbacks, which was the most touchbacks he's had in a game in his career. just does a tremendous job. And also our long snapper, Jared Sperling, probably Jared's best game as a snapper. Everything was right on point. We only punted once, but all of his PAT field goal snaps were fantastic. So our scout players of the week, sophomore wide receiver Zach Gravitt, and junior defensive end Luke Lawson. Both of them did a tremendous job. Luke actually recovered a couple of fumbles and had a great JV game last Thursday. So hopefully he's going to be able to contribute here pretty soon. So and Zach does a great job, gave us a great look lining up at receiver last week. So first year player for us. So and then whooping stick winners, Ryan Chanley for the offense, one of our offensive guards. A junior, just does a tremendous job, getting better every week, and just to see how much he's gotten better in the last year has been tremendous. Continues to grow and put on weight, and so he's going to continue to get better each and every week and be a force. So and then sophomore defensive end Kyan Simmons, younger brother of Nason, just doing a tremendous job for a 10th grader. He is going to be a superstar as he continues to go through the football program. So getting valuable reps right now. Coach Shack rotates those D linemen. He's got 4 or 5 guys that he'll rotate through. And Kyan continues to do really, really well, gets better each week. So, and then our Warrior Belt winner was Ben Rice, our center, just consistently does a tremendous job, makes all of our line calls and continues to be the leader of that group as well. So that's our player of the week.
Good. Thank you,
Players
Coach.
of the week.
Thank you. And congratulations to all those young men. A lot of hard work they put in. So to begin the game, you receive the ball. Then you have a Shockley to Keith Adams, Jr. for a first down, Swan to Boker for 5 yards, Swan to Harshaw for 5 yards. Oh, and then a negative run of 1 for Adams Jr., which you don't see that hardly at all. And then he had a nice run, and it's 3rd and down, and then comes the blitz. And then with the blitz, AJ gets out of the pocket, and he makes a nice play for another first down.
It ends up we take the elect to receive. They chose to defer, so we knew going in that we were going to get the ball first. That's something that we've done. I think relatively all season I've taken the ball first. So, want to put the ball in AJ's hands and offensively, I just feel like if we can go down and get a touchdown on the board, which we've done several times on the first drive, now it forces the other team to start playing catch up immediately. So, but we're moving the ball down the field, AJ made a couple of big 3rd down, throws, and then we end up getting stuck about the 30-yard line.
And then you decide to go for it, and then they stop you. And
go on ahead.
Go ahead, Coach.
We just kind of got caught in that, I don't know, I prefer to call it kind of no man's land. And, it's about 46, 47 yards for Joel to kick a field goal. And, I just, and it was 4th and 2. Not even 4th and 2. So, but Roswell may, we run a counter with Keith, and usually, we have no problem getting it. They send a blitz off the backside edge, and number 3, their outside backer tackles Keith. I don't know. It was close. I mean, it was really close. I think it depended on where the spot was, but we ended up not getting it. Now, now they have the ball.
Yeah,
so
I remember
turnover on downs.
Derek and Chuck were both saying, "No, I think we got it, man. I think we got it." And they brought those chains out, and just a little short. So Roswell on their next possession, they start a little drive, and then your defense really plays strong, and you hold them. They have to punt, but then on the punt, Cherokee mishandles the ball, and they recover it to the 18-yard line, which is a big turnover for you guys.
Yeah, it was. I mean, obviously unfortunate, man, when you're playing 2 undefeated teams for a big region game, and mistakes are going to happen, but you'd rather not give the ball. You just come out. They gained 11 yards on first down, I think it was, and then we stopped them on 3 downs after that. So they had a 4-down series going and ended up punting it, and we went to field the punt, and at the last second, put our hand in the air to wait for the fair catch, took our eyes off the ball and muffed it, and they recovered it at the 18. So certainly not ideal. You want to bring your defense out after a sudden change, but we also have confidence in our defense, although we did not play extremely well on Friday.
Mm-hmm. So it's 1st and 10 from the 18, Kate Long. gets the ball and runs it into the end zone. And with 5:11 up at the extra point, they're up 7-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, and I think that was Roper, their
Oh,
quarterback.
you're right.
Yeah,
Robbie Roper.
yeah, Robbie Roper. I scrambled and we had a try. I told you, Steve, each and every week that we've played really assignment football defensively, not had a lot of bust. I cannot count high enough to count the number of defensive busts we had on Friday night, and just very uncharacteristic of our defense. They've been so good the entire year, and we just did some extremely uncharacteristically things for us. So, but anyways, he was able to scramble out from 18 yards out, and they were able to put points on the board first.
Yeah, actually, with Caden Long, I think I had the wrong team in the wrong game. but but anyway, so but Cherokee fans, hold on, because here you guys come right back. It's 1st and 10 at the 20. AJ Swan to Harshaw for 10 yards, and that was with a blitz coming, and AJ was able to find Harshaw for a big play.
Yeah, I mean, they're a 3-4 defense and notorious. I mean, we've played Roswell several years now, and Coach Pruitt does a tremendous job over there. The new head coach has also been their defensive coordinator for the last 3 years, and so he's still got his handprint on the defense. And they like to bring those outside backers off the edge a ton, and they have some tremendous secondary guys. So, but anyways, we were able to, or they brought the blitz. We hit a couple of first downs through there, and then. AJ, they brought an outside blitz. AJ steps up in the pocket and looks like he's going to take off and run for the football. And he went to go to Adarius initially, but Adarius was covered. And so Adarius kept going. And as AJ probably maybe a couple of inches before the line of scrimmage, right in the middle, unleashes a pass to Adarius, and Adarius makes an unbelievable cut to avoid their safeties and cuts upfield for a 68-yard touchdown.
Yeah. Okay. And that was the one that sort of shocked the stadium that particular time. It was really a good play. But just before that, I think Keith Adams Jr. knocked off 7 yards. But then that play you're talking about, 69-yard pass play from Swan to Harshaw. Beautiful play.
Yeah, it was a great play. So, and Darius actually, I mean, they've got some extremely fast defensive backs, but Darius was, there's not a lot of people that's going to catch him. So, no. and just a tremendous play by AJ too. I mean, he's continued the last couple of weeks. He's played absolutely phenomenal. So, and you mentioned Keith in there, Keith had 140 yards on 25 carries and a touchdown. Just a great all around effort for us. I mean, we gained almost 500 yards of offense, on Friday. So we had more yards than we've had in any game this year, but, you hope to, and in those type of games, you expect to come out on top, hopefully. But Keith had a tremendous night, a very tough physical yards that he ran for, and so was able to gain some yards on that first drive as well.
So that was like a 70-yard play, a drive, 249. You guys are all tied at 7.5, 7 apiece. So they get the ball at the 20-yard line. They put together back-to-back runs of 5 and 2. Then on 3rd and 4, Roper finds Spence on a big passing catch for a touchdown. If I'm not mistaken, did that come down the middle? Was that a post pattern?
Yeah, I think it was. We were in man coverage and they went empty, and he ended up hitting one of the slots on a slant. So we didn't play very good technique on the man coverage, and the receiver was able to get inside of us, and Roper threw a good ball, hit him right on the money for a touchdown. So, and once again, we're down 7 again. So now we're the ones chasing.
So your drive starts at the end of the first quarter. You get it at the 20-yard line. There was a false start, and then there's back-to-back Adams Jr. runs. Then you guys move the ball to the 49-yard line. Then Keith Adams Jr. for another 7 physical yards, as all his yards are very physical. Yeah. And then a pass to Harshaw for 2 yards, and then Keith Adams for 1 yard. Then 2nd and 9, the AJ finds Balker on a 25-yard touchdown pass in the end zone.
Yeah, great play. I mean, Brady was able to run a fantastic route, and AJ was able to find him in the end zone for a 25-yard touchdown pass. But and Brady was wide open. But just a tremendous, pass and catch from those two, two of our leaders offensively. So it was good to see for us to connect and be able to tie it back up again. So that's one thing. I mean, on Friday, I mean, every time our offense had the ball, I think we only had 2 drives where we really stalled in the third quarter. And other than that, we were able to score well. And then the last one that ended, but we were able to score on about every other drive we had.
So that comes with 9:39 left to go in the half. Then on the next series, they put together a 80-play, 12-yard drive that ends with a Roper dispense pass. TD comes on the 3rd and 10 from the 12-yard line. And I know that just absolutely, you're a defensive person, that just breaks your back, I know.
Well, and once again, that was to their tight end, number 84 on a corner route, and we blew a coverage, and we didn't they ran a formation, and our kids thought it was a different formation and checked to a different coverage than we were supposed to be in there, and it really left our free safety in a bind. And once again, we had a mental error there, and it resulted in a touchdown. And like I said, Steve, just very uncharacteristic of our defense this season. So, but we really struggled, lining up correctly. They did some unbalanced sets, some different stuff, gave us some different looks, and, not anything that we didn't practice. But, it was, and I don't know, at the end of the day, man, playing with teenage young men. So, but we obviously, had a blown coverage there, and the tight end was wide open, and our safety was running for his life trying to get there. But, we kind of gave him one. And on 3rd and 10, you really want to try to get off the field, obviously, on that down.
Or at least give him a field goal.
Sure.
Okay, so, but you guys come right back, man. It's back and forth. First half, 5:03. You started at the 70, and all of a sudden in 4 plays, you're in the end zone. Returned Darius Harshaw had a good return. And so that sort of flipped the field for you. Then it was a pass to Harshaw for 5 yards, 2 yards by Keith Adams Jr., then a fantastic run by Keith Adams Jr. And along with that, it was a great block from Hayden Shockley. Then another pass to Shockley, and then Adams Jr., Swan on a great quarterback keep for a first down. All these things back to back to back as time's running out in the first half.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Steve, Adarius actually took that kickoff return back to the house, and it was called back for a penalty.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
I think that was the one. So it ended up backing us up, and it was. It was a tic-tac penalty at the very least. And I usually don't squawk about penalties ever, but it was about as nonchalant as possible. So, but once again, out of our control, man, and you got to move on. So, but we still had, I hate that it took away from a touchdown. That would have been back-to-back kickoff returns the last 2 weeks. So this is a tremendous job by Coach McDaniel and our special teams guys. And really, I told you last week, we changed up our kick return and, really trying to exploit Adarius, and but just a tremendous play by those guys. I hate it because the call in question on that was actually, was a solid. Our player was doing a really solid job. So, but anyways, it came back, and now offense goes out on the field, and once again we're down 7, trying to chase them and tie it up just before halftime.
Yeah, and so with a Darius Harshaw catch, I think takes it to the 3, and then Keith Adams Jr. gets in the end zone, and that comes with 41 seconds left to go, and you guys tied the score at 21-all.
Yeah, really a great 2-minute drill. We were trying not to score too quickly to give them any time, before halftime. So I knew they were getting the ball after halftime. We didn't want to give them, I guess a so-called 2-for-1 and give them some time to try to get points before halftime and then get the ball after halftime. So our offensive staff did a tremendous job of time management there. We were able to get a touchdown. I want to say that was like a 4th and 1, Steve, maybe with Keith's touchdown, maybe was on 4th and 1. And he ended up banging it in the end zone. But nonetheless, it ties it up 21-21 before halftime.
Okay. So 21-all, you're watching the Josh Shaw Football Show. You're watching on SteveMajorSports.com/live. Sponsors of this Josh Shaw Football Show. Fast Signs of Canton, Titan Pest Solutions Incorporated, the Wallace Financial Group, Greg Elwell Family Dentistry, Daniel Lawson and Residential and Pest Control, and G-Rocks Photography. So, Coach, your offense is really playing well. Your defense is probably talking a little bit more. So, I don't know. What do you tell them on offense when, you're really doing well?
Yeah, I mean, really the discussion at halftime was, we're back even again. It's just like starting the game over. They get the, opening kickoff of the second half. We can put everything behind us in the first half. And, I knew offensively we were moving the ball, and I thought that we'd continue to do that. I was concerned about our defense. We had just let them extend drives down the field. And once again, we have been so good at, stopping that the majority of the season. But, we were losing leverage on a lot of plays and allowing, plays to get outside of us. And so really we were trying to get some of those things corrected at halftime and come back out and play better in the second half.
So, you start the second half, you do play better because you force them into a punt. And so then that puts you guys with the ball, 1st and 10 for Keith Adams Jr. for 7 yards, 6 with a good block from Cody Butler. Then it's 1st and 10, Swan on a quarterback keeper. Again, that young man's getting pretty used to that quarterback keeper. Doing a pretty good job with that, isn't he, Coach?
Yeah, he is. He actually he pulled the ball again off a zone read. And then I think the play you're talking about, too, was 3rd and 10. And I think he scrambled for the first down.
Yeah, I have him here for 15 yards. That's
Yep.
probably just my records, but was a great play. Then it's Harshaw to the 3rd 40-yard line, Adams for a beautiful run of 5 yards. Then 4:40 left in the 3rd quarter. It's Adams, the junior, finishes the drive over the 5-yard jaunt into the end zone. And then you guys go up with the extra point, 28-21.
Yeah, man, I thought right there things were looking up. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, tremendous stop by our defense coming out after halftime. Was feeling good that things were headed in the right direction. Then we go and put another touchdown on the board, and we're up 28-21 right now. And it's funny because as I listen to you describe this, I mean, this sounds like a heavyweight battle and just two heavyweights swapping blows with each other, and that's the way it should be. I mean, we're disappointed we didn't come out on top, and obviously it puts us a game back in the region right now. And it was our first loss of the season. And but I mean, they're a good football team too. And so, like you said at the very beginning, there's just a lot of athletes and great players, on the field, and just two heavyweights slugging each other back and forth.
And I got to be honest, there's a lot of interest in this game throughout the state of Georgia. Of course, GPB, but also on our network, Steve Major Sports, Derek and Chuck. We had over 1,400 families watching this game. And I mean, when you got GPB out there, and even you had a radio station there. So I feel very good about the viewers we had watching you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I was glad you guys were able to get out there and do it, considering that GPB was televising it and it was statewide. So just an awesome experience. I mean, we didn't come out on top, and I know we're not done with the game, but just a neat experience for our players to be a part of something like that, and for us to be able to showcase the fact that we do have some really good players on our roster.
Right. So Roswell gets the ball on a possession. They have a great kickoff return. He returns it to the 46-yard line. And then 7 plays later, it's Roper to Willis for a pass. And then they tie the score at 28-all.
Yeah, and that was the only touchback we didn't have. And they ended up taking it, across the field. And we gave him a little bit of an alley. And, Adarius saves a touchdown right there. Thank goodness he was on kickoff, because he may have been the only guy catching a guy that was returning the ball. So, but anyways, you'd rather not give up a return to the 50-yard line, but you still got plenty of room to come out and play some, great defense. But, once again, it just wasn't our night defensively. So, we knew that we were going to have to try to outscore them.
So they kick off to you and they do a pooch kick. And you get the ball at the 37, so it's Adams for 2. Then a pass interference on Darius Harshaw, which gives you a 13-yard, first down. Then you go in the 4th quarter. That's the 4th with 2nd and 7, you go incomplete back to back, and then you're punting. There's a bad snap, and they recover the ball. Or excuse me, it's a bad snap and puts them in good field position.
Well, yeah, I mean, and on that play, we were going Kentucky, which is our, we had driven down about the 35-yard line. We were going to go where it's a quick kick by AJ. And so, but yet the snap went over his head, and a big change of, we were on the 38-yard line. The ball went all the way back to the 38, the opposite 38. So, it was a gain of, a loss of almost 25 yards right there. A big switch in field position. We were trying to have them, have them pinned back deep, and instead they were able to get really good field position. But very next play, we were fortunate enough to get the ball back.
Yeah, so it's 1st and 10 from the 38, and like a lot of teams will do on a turnover, they go for it all. 38 yards. Riley Lyons high pointed the pass in the end zone, and a great interception.
Yeah, fantastic play by Riley. They tried taking a shot, and Riley is in coverage down there, like you said, high points the ball tremendously. He's a big corner. He's 6'3", and he's got, he's a basketball kid, so he's got some ups. It makes a tremendous play. But that was the play in question that we were talking about earlier, when the official blew it and signaled touchback and didn't give Riley the opportunity to take it out. Everybody on our defense down there kind of looked around wondering what was going on. I mean, they were turning to return it the other way. Normally I wouldn't, want a defensive back to take it out of the end zone. We just take it at the 20, but Riley had a lot of green turf in front of him, and decided to take it out, and he would have ran for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, of course, on top of that, Riley's a pretty good athlete as well. So you should point it out, he plays basketball, so he's got a lot of skill, and can absolutely run the ball. So let's see where we are, Coach. I forgot where we are.
That was after Riley's interception. We take over in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah. So it's 1st and 10 from the 20, because I made you bring it out. Then it's Adams Jr. for 3 and 4 yards. Swan to Shockley for a 1st down at the 31. 9:34 left in the game. Adams Jr. for 2. Swan on the quarterback keep. And then for 4, and an incompletion, and you have to punt the ball.
Yep, and that was the first time we had to punt all night. So, they take over probably around the 30-yard line, and still got a tie ball game at this point, man. I mean, we had 2 opportunities there offensively. That's where we kind of sputtered on those 2 drives right there. Tie ball game after the pick, and even before that, and those were a couple of drives that we really needed to try to swing the field, and we were unable to. So credit to Roswell's defense. I mean, really tightened up, made some adjustments at halftime, when we were trying to continue to get Keith rolling on those 2 drives, but they were able to shut us down, force us to punt.
So now it's 1st and 10 for Roswell at the 30-yard line. And then from this point on, it's like keeping the ball on the ground to Hill and Stevenson. It's 7, 13, and 9 yards for Willis for a 1st down, then a pickup of 3 to the 29, Hill for 5 yards to the 24, down to the 3-yard line, and Hill finishes up a 70-yard drive, puts him back up on top.
Hurt my heart, man. That was the dagger right there. I mean, we got a tie ball game. They go 70 yards in 12 plays, 11 of them runs, and probably out of those 11, 9 of them we didn't line up correctly. And so, it's tough to play defense when you're on your heels. Felt like we were on ice skates, actually. So, and I don't know if we were just panicking or what, but we just were struggling night for us defensively, and so just have to better prepare our kids. But they used up a lot of clock on that drive, and like I said, it was 11 runs, and they were able to take it down and drive it right down our throat and score.
Well, 35-28 now, you're behind, but Derek and Chuck both said 2:29, you got a timeout or 2 in your pocket. So it's plenty of time. Before we get to that, Coach, we missed Brayson Parker's interception, didn't we?
Oh, we did.
Oh my God. I'm sorry about that, Mr. Parker. Forgive me. Oh my goodness. That stopped the drive just before the end of half, I think it was, wasn't it?
Uh, yes, and we ended up getting a block in the back, so it took us he returned it to like the 18-yard line. We'd have been able to kick a field goal, but we ended up getting a block in the back. Absolute silly penalty, completely unnecessary. But we get a block in the back right there, and it negates about a 35-yard return for Brayson. That's back-to-back games for him getting INTs. So I told our secondary guys this morning, if Brayson gets one more, he'll tie for the team lead. We better not have a linebacker leading us in interception. So, but Brayson's been plugging. That's two. He's got about 100 yards on returns now in back-to-back weeks. So he's plugging to try to get some touches in the backfield.
I was going to ask you, are you really going to put him in the backfield, Coach?
I told him when he stops wearing the yellow jersey at practice. So, but anyways, he's got some wheels on him. I mean, he can scoot. So
yeah, well, he showed it last week on the interception. He almost got it into the end zone.
Yeah.
So anyway, you got 2:29 left. Then you guys are not done. That's a lot of time left. So it's a pass to Shockley, unfortunate sack. Another pass to Shockley to 35-yard line. Adams Jr. for 7 yards. You guys are moving the ball. Back-to-back incompletions in. It's 4th and 3. And then Adarius kips the ball. He catches a tipped ball, and it gives you guys a first down. Then there's a fumble, incompletion, a fumble. Oh, go ahead and comment, Coach.
Well, that was actually 4th and 3. We run vertical out, and I thought AJ was going to hit Bacher on the out, and he was open. He throws a back shoulder fade to Darius down the sideline. Just probably one of the best throws and catches I've seen. I mean, just tremendous play. Darius was able to get out of bounds. So the tipped one came on the next series after that Shockley ends up catching. But just a tremendous play. I mean, on 4th and 3 and was able, I think it was a gain of about 18 yards and was able to continue moving the chains for us.
Okay, so you end up in a 4th and 17, and of course they held you, and then they have the victory formation. Coach, nobody hangs their head in this game. I mean, it was man to man.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're disappointed. We didn't play a little better. Got to have our kids prepared a little better, and falls on myself and our coaches and, trying to fix. The good thing is that we got from the game is the majority of our mistakes are all correctable. And so we got an extended film session in on Monday and was able to come out and fix a lot of those mistakes and talk about it. And I told our players, I said, that one's in the rear view mirror. You got to flush it down the toilet. And let's move on, because now we have Etowah.
Absolutely. So, Coach, Matt Kemper moved from Roswell to Etowah this year. Now, how has his offensive and defensive tendencies changed? Any that you see?
Yeah, I mean, you can still see, he's a big counter power guy, which kind of fits into what Etowah has done. I think he's still, I don't think he brought in any coaches with him. So I think he kind of inherited all of Coach Savela's coaches. So, a lot of those guys were there. And so, but it looks like it's a little bit of blend of both. So I think their offensive coordinator's still there, the quarterback coach. But I mean, Coach Kemper's been a power counter guy, and you can definitely see his flair on the offense, and so they'll continue, he'll continue to have his stamp on it.
I know one thing, that Brock Rechsteiner, he's a heck of a football player, because
That he is.
I remember last year, man, he is one tough dude.
Yeah, I mean, he caught a touchdown, a couple of touchdowns against us last year, if I'm not mistaken. So,
yeah. So, you guys going over there, the weather is going to be a little chillier, but it's supposed to be maybe a little sunny, but we'll find out about that. And so defensively, did you say they play a 3-man front? I'm sorry.
No, they're a 4-2 or 4-4 look, depending upon, how you spread them out, but they got a 4-2 box. So it'll be a 4-man front, a little bit different than what we saw last week with the 3-man front against Roswell. So, but we have seen that, before this year. And I think our guys would do a great job against it. And, our offensive line is playing with a lot of confidence right now and is playing really well last 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, Coach, I want to say thank you and wish you the best of luck. And I do, before I let you go, I saw a tweet come out yesterday, and it said in the next year or two, Corky Kell is going to be selective about cutting down some of the teams for that? What's that all about? I
Be
never,
honest with you, I hadn't even seen that, Steve. So I have no idea. I was not sure. I mean, was that from the Corky Kell, Corky Kell social media accounts, or?
you know what? I can't exactly remember where it came from. But
I have
anyway,
not been told anything. So as of now, and really, we're just trying to get through this year.
yeah, I was going to say, why would I even bring that up when you got your mind getting ready for Etowah? And, you throw all the records away when you go over to Etowah Friday night, or even if they come over here. I mean, it's like 0-0. It's in-county rivalry. It's a region game. It's bragging rights.
Yeah, without question. I mean, obviously, too, we dropped a heartbreaker to them last year in overtime by 3 points. And, so, and that's, our kids haven't forgot about that. I know it's a different coaching staff and different teams. But, I mean, they want to go out and prove themselves this season against them. Coach Kemper, I've known for a long, long time, and he'll have them well coached and do a tremendous job. And, they're probably the best 0-6 team in the state. Right now. They've played some heavy hitters. I mean, they've had both Milton and Roswell in region already. And then they've had North Cobb, and, River Ridge, of course, is undefeated and having a great season. And so, that's 4 of their 6 losses right there. So, I think I saw something on social media where they're combined, the teams they've played are combined 16-2 or something like that, or 24-2, something crazy. But, I mean, we're going to have to go down there and play well, and we certainly can't have some of the mistakes that we had last Friday.
And I got to tell you something. That 0-6 for me is hard to say, because I don't want to repeat that, because at this point they're a very dangerous team.
Oh, absolutely. I've told our players that all week.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys are still in the running for the region championship, or at least the high seed, and you just got to go out there and play it a game at a time, like you've been telling your players.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our sole focus right now is technically we're 1-1 in the region. We haven't qualified for the playoffs yet. So,
well, and Etowah played Roswell nail biter 21-14, I think it was. I think that Roswell might have had a few turnovers in that game, but still 21-14, very decent.
Yeah, without a doubt. So, I mean, definitely a dangerous team, and we're on the road. So, but I mean, we got to focus on the things we can control and take care of ourselves. And I think the scoreboard will take care of itself after that. And, one game at a time. But, this one's important because 2 wins probably get you in the playoffs. 3 for sure you're in, but 2 probably get you in, with only 6 teams in the region, 2 probably get you in. So, you definitely want to get this one before we move on to Alfred and Milton.
Sure. Coach, I want to thank you for your time. I also want to thank Derek Griffith, and also Chuck Chambers and Jay Speaks, the cameraman, for doing work on Friday night. And we'll be there again at Etowah on Friday night, and we'll be hoping and praying you guys will do well. And I want to thank you for your time, and you guys have a good practice, and see you hopefully on Friday night. You've been watching the Josh Shaw Football Show on SteveMajorSports.com/live. Sponsors for the show are Canton Tire and Wheel, Green Heating and Cooling Incorporated, Northside Hospital Orthopedic Institute, Georgia Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine Center, E.F. Thomas & Sons, Schottenkirk Ford of Jasper, Fast Signs of Canton, Titan Pest Solutions Incorporated, the Wallace Financial Group, Greg Elbow Family Dentistry, Daniel Lawson Residential and Commercial Pest Control, and G-Rock Photography. Coach, from my bunker, you have a blessed day, man.
Same to you. And you guys be safe with this storm rolling in. The rest of the Warrior Nation, take cover and be safe tonight. And so hopefully this thing blows through and we don't have any issues, and we can get back to normal tomorrow afternoon.
And you be safe as well, Coach.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
Talk
Appreciate
to you later.
it. All right. Bye-bye.